Hi all, welcome to this week's second stream of the week, and we are all about to start. With that said, let's seek a 10-0, and we'll try to win some games too. Okay. This time I'll go for e4. That's fast. My opponent is playing real quick moves. Let's go for bishop c4. I could have opted for King's Indian attack with d3, but let's just castle and play c3 on the next move. Take c3 and I'll have some chances in the opening. But d4 is still coming. And e4, then rook e1. And now I'm thinking about queen b3, but yeah, I think that should. Okay, the only problem is queen b3, knight a5, queen b5 check, and then we have c6, and then what? I also have bishop takes d5, queen takes, and then knight c3, followed by d5, but that does not really help me with anything. Queen b3 is what I'm hoping for, but knight a5 just ruins my plans. Knight, I mean, but I also have bishop b5 followed by knight to. But you know what? I'll go with knight c3 right now. Just attack the knight. I mean, I was trying to keep my opponent busy in the center with queen b3, but I guess knight a5 just ruins my plan because it attacks my bishop and my queen simultaneously, and queen a5 doesn't work. Okay, so now I do have a good center with these two pawns. The b file is open, but now bishop g4 is a threat that I see. I'm also hoping for d5 push here. That let's just bring my rook, because if bishop g4, I'll play bishop d3. Going for some Greek sacrifices could be an option. And if the c6 knight ever moves, then maybe queen b3 could be an option. And I'm still delaying the development of my c1 bishop, because okay, bishop f4 is a good option. Bishop f4 is, I think, the best place for my bishop right now, because all the other squares are not that much optimal. I mean, the diagonal a3 to e7 is also good, but right now I cannot put my bishop over there. So if bishop g4, let's say bishop d3, and let's say he makes a waiting move, let's say queen d7, then bishop takes h7, king takes, or maybe if, yeah, I'll first of all sacrifice on e7 with my rook, and then maybe I'll play bishop takes h7. Yeah, now let's go for bishop d3, and now I'm thinking about rook takes e7. Does not matter how black recaptures. Let's say queen takes e7, bishop takes h7, king takes, knight g5 check, and then I take the bishop. That way I will have the bishop pair advantage, which might be of some use to me in this open position. h6 could be an option, but if h6, then I'll play g3. Okay, now let's say rook takes e7. Let's say knight takes. First of all, let's have a look. Knight takes, bishop takes, h7, king takes, knight g5 check, king goes to, I mean, if he comes out, then it's just bad, because then I'll be having a discovered check with my queen after take on g4. So takes, I'm only thinking if, yeah, but let's say if he goes back, I take, and what do I get? But I also have to, okay, now the idea is to first of all take on e7, first take on e7, then play bishop a4, so that I can develop. I can, I mean, connect my rooks. Maybe h6. If h6, h3 will come into picture. Bishop h5. If bishop, let's say, moves, there we go, let's go for h3 now. Obviously he would go back to h5, he would not take on f3, or he can go to e6 as well. Okay, so he's let's go for bishop f4 now. If g5, I'll just drop back to g3. If bishop d6, okay, so he's hoping he's going for the c4 square, but I'm not really afraid, because I can play bishop knight e5 easily to counter that. And now I have some ideas with the king side sacrifice. Also, I can play bishop b5, provoke him to play c6. Okay, now does he really want to sacrifice there? Okay. And now what? Okay, let's play bishop queen f3, because if bishop d5 then queen g3. Because now my idea is anyhow to play queen g3. Okay, now queen g3. But what if he plays g5? Then I'll just bring back my bishop, because then there will be a lot of weaknesses. Okay, now this is not the right move. Maybe I made a little I didn't think it through, but I want him to provoke some weaknesses around his king, that is for sure. Okay, and maybe now let's play rook b1 to, but then he can play knight to b3. Now let's just maybe double up my rooks, or maybe even, yeah, I think I have to be aware of knight b3, that's for sure. Knight b3, and my a rook is coming to e file, because that's it's open, it's an open file. Also b file is open, but right now I really cannot go for any action on that side, because the moment I play rook b1 or rook b2, knight a3 could be played, maybe to provoke, to prevent yeah, but this knight coming to b3 could be a really dangerous piece for me. If takes, I'll take. If bishop takes on d5, I'll take with my bishop. So if I take, I have to take, otherwise queen takes and I lose a pawn there. But that would kind of ruin my structure completely if I don't take on c5 now. Takes, how does he plan to recapture? Queens, maybe rook c8, and then maybe I can, yeah, I have to go for that, and then maybe rook d2 if the queen doesn't move from the d file. चॉकलेट खा दे उसको. And now I'm thinking about bishop d2 or bishop e3. Bishop d2. Yeah, I'll go for bishop e3. Yeah, I'll go for bishop e3. But then my goodness, I just made a blunder. No, it's not a blunder. I thought I lost my bishop on d3. But I'm happy with my white bishop. So he wants to go for this. Yeah. Okay, let me just bring my rook to that file to the d file. So I'm up by a pawn right now, the pawn on c5. Also I can play bishop f5. Yeah, bishop f5, because f7 is a weakness. And if the queen moves from if the queen ever leaves the diagonal of d8 to h4, I can play queen f3. No, I mean not at the moment. Maybe queen f3, because that would drop my bishop, my knight. But okay, that's an idea. But and what about bishop f5 now? Well, I mean, obviously I can't play bishop f5 because my rook would drop. But what about this move? I mean, this is getting super scary, looking at my pawn structure and my position. Maybe I'll double up on the d file now. I think f7 is definitely a weakness. I may try to provoke some play around that. Also, my opponent is low on time, so he's attacking this pawn. Let's go for bishop d3, save my pawn, go for okay, I see. What else? I mean, I can go for bishop, I can go for knight g4, putting some pressure on f6. Bishop takes, and then I can go back, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's try to simplify the position, because I'm up a pawn and he's also low on time, although I don't also have a lot of time available at the moment, and he's down to 30 seconds. And if he takes, I'll take with my queen. Takes, I'll take with my queen, exchange of the queens. And I think this is I'm going to win this one on time for sure. I think there were some interesting ideas that I definitely missed in the game. Let's just double up my rooks on the d file, and it's all over for black now. Good game. Let's go to analysis board. I think okay, let me just run a computer analysis, and then we look at the mistakes which I made and my opponent made. Meanwhile, I can go over the game. I think so it's the thing, I'm not aware of this particular opening which I played. It's the center game, I believe. Is it the center game? Because I'm confusing the name, because I believe center game is Scotch game, right? But this is a particular opening. I do know. I don't remember the name, but yeah, I'm confusing it with with Scotch. Okay, so the computer says to go for bishop, to go for queen e5, e4. Let's see. If I go for queen e4, what does my opponent have here? I mean, it's not a checkmate, that's for sure. Was best. Okay. And how does black defend now? Oh, I guess I haven't turned on the analysis for both the sides. Anyway, let me first of all learn from my mistakes. So it says instead of this, maybe taking on e5 would be a good move here. No, that's not. What else? B3. I mean b4. Then what's the best move here? Rook e1. I have to see the solution. But what about this? Then what? Okay, and you do this, and then I play, and let's say queen takes, and then I can go for a. I can maybe go for a fork here. Okay, and then what? Rook e1 maybe. What about rook e1? Okay, so he castles. Maybe not rook e1, but yeah. In this position, I should have played queen b3. Let's. Okay, so I have already seen that bishop. Yeah, this is the best move here in this position. Okay, so d takes c5 wasn't the best move. I know this one was not my best move here, but then what? Let's see. So the best move was rook e1, which I did play. I mean, it was a theme, I should say, not the move which I picked up. So now, so are there any tactics available which I'm missing? Rook. What about queen f3? Let's see. So what do I achieve? I mean, I think I'll get some good counterplay with this move. That's what I'll get. Oh, is it? Is the attack so strong from white that he has to sacrifice a full piece? In fact, a queen. Okay. Now maybe that was an interesting move which I definitely missed. And what inaccuracies? Let's see what all inaccuracies he played. Okay, I am not done with the mistakes in this position. Yeah, so in this position I wasn't really thinking. I was just hoping for to win the game on time. So I'll see. Okay, takes, and what do I get here? An active rook, maybe. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Now there's a pressure over here. Okay, maybe I missed a lot of good ideas here. So let's see what inaccuracies my opponent made. I'm looking at the let me see. Look at the mistakes first. So maybe instead of playing king h8, bishop g5 should have been played. So let's see, if bishop g5, what would I do? The computer says to take, but I would not take, because if I take, queen takes, and then I kind of, okay, Then what about... I see. Okay. Let's play one more 10-0. Okay, so let's go for Sicilian. I don't know a lot about Sicilian, but I have seen a couple of videos online, so I'll try to implement all those ideas here. And if I win, then I guess it's a fluke. So we have opened Sicilian on the board. Let's go for knight f6. So these are book moves. Maybe bishop b5. Okay, so we have something else. And these are the basic textbook ideas, I would say. And now white would castle on the queen side, most probably. Okay. Let's see. Let's just throw a question to this bishop. Or maybe I could have taken on d4 as well. If bishop takes on f6, I'll take with my bishop. But he stays on the diagonal. But now this allows me for this idea of taking on d4. My bad, taking on e4. And he would take on e7 now. And now I'll take the queen. He'll take my queen now. And I'll take the bishop here. I think he'll move away his bishop. And then I'll also move away my knight. So in the process I won a pawn. But I'm winning a piece here. Again, and also a pawn. So, and his knight is attacked. He'll move his knight now. And now I can castle on the queen side as well. Maybe I don't even need to castle. He'll play his rook. Okay, so he's attacking my pawn now. But I can simply play king e7. Now maybe rook can come to d1. In that case I'll play d5 maybe. Anyhow, I'm up by a full piece. So I guess compensation is enough. In fact, I can give away a couple of pawns also, just to get some better position out here. Obviously, taking on d6 with the rook would not be a good option. So now I'll try to. I'm good. My goodness, I thought I was up a piece. What happened? I mean, my calculation these days is so pathetic. For I mean, this is funny. I for the entire past 10-15 moves, I thought I was up a piece. But my bishop is doing a good job, so I like my bishop. And now let's get my rook on the second file. And I'll reroute my knight to a better place, but my opponent's king is persistent on hitting my knight again and again. Looks like I have a better position here because I will have a discovered check on the next move. And that is it. It's a pretty short game. So let's go back. So to be honest, at this point of time, I really didn't know how to go about this position. So as I told you, if I win, it will be all because of fluke. So there's no, I mean, I'm sure I would have made a lot of mistakes, so I'll do a personal analysis on this particular game. Let's play one more 10-0. Maybe that will be the last game of the stream and maybe of the week as well. I'll go for King's Indian defense. Oh, yeah. Because that is quite easy to remember. I mean, the ideas are pretty intuitive. If yeah. Just go for d5 maybe. If he goes for d5, I guess he should go for, I mean, he would not play d5. Technically he should not play d5 because then his bishop on c4 is kind of useless. And now if queen d2, king h7, or otherwise my h3 could also be played. Right now my, yeah, there we go. Queen d2 will be played on this move, I believe, or queen c1. Either of these two moves would come about. And then I'll safely bring my king to h7. And now this, I can even think about bishop to e6. My goodness, I just blundered a full pawn here. I just didn't see this at all. And there goes my another pawn. I think the position is real bad for black. I'm down by 2 pawns here. And I think I don't have anything here. The position is pretty lost here for black. I mean, I'll just go for resignation here. Let's play one more 10-0. I didn't think I would lose this early. Maybe I'm not paying attention that much. Still need to work on that. Okay. I'll go for d4 this time. I'll try to bring new openings when I'm playing with white pieces into my game. I have to win this one. Okay. Probably the following week I'll learn a couple of other openings which are similar to King's Indian. And now I'm really not concerned, because now I'm threatening to play c2, and if b5 then that could be dangerous. So but I can win this pawn, right? Now bishop b5 could still be played, but he doesn't. I can take the bishop, but I'll take the bishop on the next move, maybe, if that's allowed. And that is not allowed. And I'll put my bishop on this long diagonal. Okay, now d5 is what black would aim for. Let's give my knight some support. And if takes, okay. Now he's planning to fianchetto his light bishop, maybe, I guess. He'll take on c4 now. Then play b5, maybe, okay. Because that's the idea of rook b1. Now maybe let's play my e pawn, because I have a good center up here. And now d5 was also covered. And I don't know how would black create. There we go. That's a blunder, right? Because now I can take the pawn, and my pawn is well protected. Yeah, I mean, it's doubled up, so obviously black would go for some play to win that. But I'm happy with the position that I have. Also, black's pieces are not developed that much, so now I can just even prevent this knight bishop's development. If knight d7, knight f3, maybe. Yeah. And now I'll try to I mean, obviously I would not like to exchange queens here, but okay. And now I can play f6 here. Because definitely some weaknesses are going to be created in black's camp. Also, I get the open f file, so knight takes. There can be some tactics here. Let's go for knight takes f6 on the next move, followed by queen g4 check. Some ideas are coming in. Maybe not bishop g. Bishop was covering g4. So now, okay, let me see. Can I take on f7? Yeah, I can take on f7 and I can win the pawn on f7. Does not matter how black recaptures. I'm winning the knight on f6. Also, I have the bishop pair 6, pawn takes, queen takes, and the black king doesn't have any square except for f8, and then I bring my rook. Yeah, so that could be an idea here. Let's go for it. And we have pawn takes, and now my rook would come into action, and it's all over for black now. Good game. Let's go to the analysis board and let's see if I made any mistakes, which I'm sure would have. Let's go for a computer analysis first, and meanwhile I can have a look at the opening the entire game. The only reason I'm going for this analysis is that I only know a little bit about this opening. I don't know much about the opening lines here, and it was all based on my memory of a couple of videos which I saw. Yeah. Okay. So I think the computer is done. It says I made 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes. That is strange. Let me see what will happen if I do no mistakes found for white. That's great. Let me just also open up the analysis board. Yeah, normally bishop b5 check is what I see, and then either of the way I can defend. I'll go with the knight obviously, because if takes, then I get a better pawn structure, because right now my pawn on d4 is a lonely pawn. So and I think, yeah, after queen e7 it was all lost for black. Yeah, let's play one more game against computer, and I'll go for level 6 this time with a random side. And I get black. I'll go for King's Indian defense this time, and this is definitely going to be the last game of the week. Also, I have not been looking at the opening moves which I play. I don't know whether those moves are correct. I mean, have they been never played in other games? I'm sure they would have been, because I have learned all the openings from some of those games only. But the idea is to see how much I have been following the move order. Yeah. Okay. Now this was expected of the computer, because the computer would evaluate things in terms of the predefined definition of a good move, which is to gain space, and d5 just does that. So is he planning for going for an attack on the king side with his king in center? He could go for, because it's right now the center is closed. He can go for king queen side castle also, which is quite possible. I think one thing that I've noticed right now is that when it comes to King's Indian moves, I go for a quick attack. That could be one of the reasons why I lose so early in the game. Okay, I'm sure no human player would go for bishop f1 now. But how do I really improve? Maybe bishop h6, because my bishop is not doing a good job here. Obviously cannot castle anytime on the king side. And g6 could be an idea to protect g2. Maybe bishop f1 was played. But bishop h6, g3, I bring my knight back, bishop takes on h6, king takes on f6. Maybe that's not where I want my king to be, although there cannot be any attacking ideas here. I'm also thinking about queen d7 to put my queen on. Maybe I can go for rook g1 now, because that's what the idea is, to attack, and my f pawn is not moving. Yeah, so this was expected, so I have to do something about my f pawn. I'll move my f knight. To where should I move my f knight, because I have to make that pawn move. Let's play queen d7. Maybe no, I'll play queen e1, go for knight d7, and then go for, I still cannot play f7, that's for sure, but because now I can go for knight h. Knight h7. Yeah, hit the bishop, and now maybe go for, I still cannot go for f7 at the moment, but I didn't see that move, so I have to defend it anyhow. So let's just defend it. And now he'll bring back his bishop. a6, c6 could be played. If I take, queen takes, but what about knight takes, bishop pawn takes, c6 takes, pawn takes, and I bring my queen there. But what about queen takes? Then I'll be forced. But I guess I'll go with this still, because that might give me some ideas of opening up the board. And what about this now? So why is he sacrificing? I mean, I can take the pawn here, right? Oh, I see, he's planning to go for that. Takes. Not exactly. Okay, definitely my dark scores on the queen side are weak. And if it takes here, now I can go for f5. Let's go for, should I go for bishop f8 in exchange? Anyhow, I have to play a little fast, I'm low on time. Yeah, let's go for that, because this bishop, or this knight on d6 is doing a good job. Let's attack the pawn on g5. and I'll move my bishop next. Takes. Okay, there we go. This pawn push would be a difficult thing. Pawn push takes maybe takes. Hmm. How do I defend this? Okay, let's go for this. Hmm. My goodness, I just lost my piece. Let's go for a take back here. Let's go for that. One take back is still better than what I played yesterday. Takes. Hmm. Hmm. I'll go for some counterplay. I'll still like to go for some counterplay here. And maybe takes. If rook takes, I'll go for this now. I really cannot. Okay, I see. My king is a little blocked here. Next move is queen h3 maybe. I think it's mate. It's mate. Let's revert a couple of moves again. Okay. Let's try to exchange off the queens maybe. Still the same idea. Let's revert a couple of moves. Okay. But I mean, obviously, I can't take the knight otherwise. Okay, let's revert again. Now, yeah. So after this, I can take here. But this rook comes again. I think it's a pretty resignable position. Let me just resign up here. Let's do a quick analysis. I think from next time onwards, I'll play with level 6. I mean, at least it will be still a proud moment to lose from a high rated opponent instead of losing from a 1700 bot. I think up till now, my position, I'm happy with my position, I would say. From this point onward is where I made a mistake. In fact, after queen e7, I didn't see knight b5. Maybe a6 should have been played. And this is the moment where everything falls apart for black. Yep. So let's say after this, how should I go about? How should I continue with black? a5. So bishop h6 was one of my ideas, but what about g3 then? Yeah, you go there. Okay. Takes. But I'm not really liking my opponent, my king's position. It's not endgame that I should put my king on the 6th rank. By the way, guys, I have defeated 2300 bonds, only taking one take back. Just to put it on record. Okay. He plans to castle, I believe, yeah? And I'm not really sure if castling is the right way to continue. Okay. Maybe I still need to improve a lot on my game. Anyways, that's about this for this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's of stream. See you tomorrow. See you next week. That is on Saturday. Maybe it's Diwali, so I'll still stream anyhow because it's Corona, so I won't be celebrating Diwali this time. So with that said, let's see you next Saturday. Till then, take care. Goodbye.